With me, Alexandra, as psychologist in training here at Alzheimer's. And we have previously been speaking about hedonic, eudaimonic, and psychological richness. And in this episode, I will describe the risks with not balancing the different perspectives. So, because when you want to live a full life with optimal well-being, we need a balance between the hedonia and the eudaimonia. And otherwise, we risk feeling unhappy or maybe have a lack of fulfillment and purpose. And today I will speak about the two main issues with the hedonic lifestyle. So they are called hedonic adaptation and hedonic treadmill. Let's start with hedonic adaptation, which is the human ability to adapt back to the baseline of happiness, whether if it's positive or if it's negative experiences. And we can also speak about it as a graph of happiness. So if we take a look at this one, for example, then you can see happiness is on this side, time is on this side. This is low happiness or sadness and high happiness. And then there is a baseline in the middle, which is quite of the neutral mood. And when we're feeling happiness, we go up. We will always return back to this baseline after a while. But also if we feel sad, we will also return to the baseline after a while. So it just depends with time, and you will always be able to go back to the baseline. And this can of course be comforting when you're in a time when you're feeling really low, or maybe you have a lot of negative emotions. You can rely on that the human body actually always will be able to cope and go back to baseline and feel okay. But at the same time, it may be some discomfort in this way, since it reminds us that nothing in life actually lasts forever, and not even the positive experiences that we actually wish to keep. And secondly, I'll speak about the hedonic treadmill, and that is the constant pursuit to maintain the happiness level throughout seeking new experiences or achievement. So it is aiming to try to stay like at this top that we just spoke about up here. You're always aiming to stay at the top and not go back to the baseline. And on the other hand, this does not result in an increase in our long-term happiness, even if we're trying to keep it as a long-term. So the hedonic treadmill explains that happiness is always fleeting. Hence, it doesn't really matter how many experiences you're looking for to gain excitement, because in the end, it will not make you feel purpose or meaning in the long term. So some people might recognize that you're always looking for something fun and something exciting to do. It is almost like an escape where you can't stand to do things that doesn't give you pleasure or happiness. It becomes like a never-ending treadmill. And it can be the feeling of restlessness where you always search for the next fun thing to do. And some examples of hedonic treadmill could also be addiction, greed, or even antisocial behavior. But it can also just be the feeling or the urge of partying or traveling, like really anything that gives you a rush of happiness. So that was it about the hedonic risks. For next time, I will speak about the issues with relying too much on the eudaimonic well-being on the other hand. So thank you so much for listening.